Hi guys, how you doing? It's Jeremy with Disciples Corner. Today I'm going to be showing you some prep on the door before we get ready to spray it with the second coat of primer. Okay. I've already gone ahead and sprayed a light mist of red on here just because I think that'll look cool underneath the paint. Actually, this is a guide coat. You spray that on here and you sand. I've been sanding with 400. I thought that's what I learned. I'll have to go back and look at my videos because it's really freaking hard sanding the guide coat with 400. It just clogs the paper up really bad. So it's either my... it works really good for the parts right where I was when the paper was brand new, right through here. You can see that's what it looked like before. And then it was really good, really good. And then there's a little blotch right there, right? That's a freaking low spot that I've never even noticed before. Okay. I don't know if I went a little heavy with the guide coat, maybe. But it's 400 paper sure as hell wasn't working very good because, I mean, it just clogged it all up. Like right away, you know, that kind of clogged to where you can't even use the paper. And that happened like right away. That one was okay, and it started clogging that one up too. When it started clogging up that one, I'm just like, well, either I used, you know, I didn't use a cheap enough paint. You're supposed to use a really cheap, like Walmart $2 can spray paint. And I just had this sitting around, this Plasti-Coat industrial enamel. It sprays in any direction. I used to rattle can spray a lot of different stuff. As far as wheels and interior pieces and stuff like that. So I'd always do my wheels and like engine enamel and stuff like that. And I'd always have these kind of things laying around. So maybe this is basically too nice of a paint to be spraying on here. This industrial says on there. Maybe I don't want to be spraying that. I don't know. I mean, I can rub it off. I mean, it's not. I don't know. So I'm going to switch to a 320 grit. I'm going to go down to 320, hit it with the 320, see if that works any better, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the halftime that I got, and there's all different kinds of putties, but this halftime works also as a body filler. Basically, it can be used a little more like a body filler than just a straight glaze, but it's basically a glaze. It is actually a little cheaper. It's at $22 a tub. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get the sand down and get the low spots and the nicks and fine scratches and stuff filled with glaze. We're making some progress here. Got the door flipped over. The underside is beautiful with primer. Door handles masked off. Get the speaker masked off. And some of the electrical. Probably mask this off a little bit. And then obviously I need to get this, gosh, it'd be nice to get this window down, like hook up the electrical and just get the window down so I could do this without having to, I'm changing the color of this, so I should be painting underneath this rubber just in case the rubber ever shrinks, but I don't know, I'll see what I can pull off with the tape and stuff. Tape it here. I'll be ready to paint all this. So, yeah, got a little Mogan David here. Little Mogan David wine. Does it say somewhere in the Bible that they gave thanks and drank wine and then painted their doors? No? Well, painting their doors with blood and then drinking wine and stuff. But yeah. So yeah. I enjoy a nice glass of wine every now and again. I even like cigars sometimes. Someone will have a baby. They'll bring cigars over. There's my new dad t-shirt. I smoked a cigar in this shirt when I had my baby. Oh, yeah, good times, good times. Not really a big fan of cigars, but you know, I like puffing on them. Don't mind it. Anyways, I'm gonna get this door painted now. Okay, so if you guys tell me if I'm wrong or if this is the best way to do it. I kind of been looking at a few videos on how other guys have done it, but I need to paint at least primer. Oh, let's see, I got the front side of the door in completely done in primer. First coat of primer, then I sprayed a guide coat, and then I sanded the guide coat down, found the low spots, put the halftime putty in the low spots, sanded those down with like 280 I think or something, and then switched to 320, and then hit the whole door again with 400. And I mean, after doing all that, there was actually bare metal showing again in a couple spots, so I had to hit that with some self-etching primer again. And then I just put about 3 coats of primer, you know, three coats in one session of primer. I don't know if you call that one good coat or 3 separate coats, but I put another good thick coat of my primer on there. And if you guys are wondering what I'm using, you know, for products and stuff, I've done a product video on all the products that I bought. So this is the High Build 2K primer I've been using. So I was gonna go ahead and paint the jams, primer the jams anyway. They're all really good. I don't have to do any body work to the jams. So once I tape them off and stuff, and hit them with the wax and grease remover, and then tack them off and spray them with primer, I should be able to do it in one session. Just spray 3 or 4 coats of primer on them, and they should be done for primer. And then from there, I don't even think I'll sand the primer. I think I'll just go ahead and hit it with color now. I should probably shoot the color on right now is what I'm thinking. Hit the jams, you know. The outside's primered, and I think I should get all the jams painted so that I don't have to paint them once they're on the truck, right? That'd be the best way to do it. And then once I mount it to the truck, I can spray the door while it's on the truck, because once I get, you know, 2 coats on, my 3rd coat, I'm gonna blend into the side panels for the door. So might even be blending it into the roof a little bit. Probably not. Probably not. We'll see how close this color is. This is a pretty hard color to blend, you guys have been telling me, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, so I'm getting there. This door's really taking me a long time, but I've been doing a lot of screwing around too in between days and stuff. So actual time spent on this door hasn't really been a whole lot. But so I'm going to do this now so that it's done, it's primered, and then I'll clean out the gun, and then I will mix my first batch of paint. So then I have to clear coat it too. Forgot about that. I'll spray like 2 or 3 coats of base, and then like 2 coats of clear too. I'm gonna be doing clear, and that's gonna take me a while. I'm gonna be up a lot. So what time is it? It's a little after 9 o'clock at night. So the only thing I did today was I put the filler on last night, so on the low spots. So I sanded today. Then I did the whole door with the 400, and then I masked it all off, and then I cleaned the whole garage again because I'm doing body work and painting in the same garage. So I had to sweep the floor again and mess with the compressor a little bit because the fittings started loosening up on me and leaking. And then I had to go get the parts for the gun. Oh, here we go. I forgot to tell you guys this. I went up to Home Depot and I got myself a freaking inline filter like I've been needing. Okay. So there's the Husky inline filter. It's good to 150 psi. It was like $22. Okay. And then I had to get, I got a steel fitting for both sides of it. And then, of course, I just got my regular hose going to the compressor and going into this side. And then I got my nice hose coming off that end going to that side. I put new ends on both ends of those. I switched to steel. I put a new steel end on here, a new steel end there, steel end there. And then on the gun, a steel end there. And then I got myself an inline filter for the gun, too. So that was about, I want to say, $7 and change, almost $8. I even got some more 3M. I got some 600, some 300, or some 3M 600. So I'm set. I was looking at compressors up there too. Was it 435 or 465? I think it was 435 for the 60-gallon Husky. So I actually like the 80-gallon ones. The 80-gallon ones look smaller than the 60 gallons. They're short and fat, and they got the big belt-driven motor and stuff on the top. You know, you got oil and stuff. That's what I need. One like that. I don't know how much they are though. Harbor Freight has one like that. When Pat does his reviews, he's always like, "And you're gonna want to use a compressor that can power this tool, such as this one from Harbor Freight." You know, and then he shows you that compressor that's really short and fat, and it's always sitting on a pallet. I thought that was a smaller compressor. Well, it looks just like the 80-gallon one that they sell at Home Depot, so that's probably an 80-gallon. I'm going to see how much theirs are, because they're probably the same freaking compressor anyway. But, alright guys, I'll give you some shots after this bottom is all painted. You pretty much know the process from here on out, so I don't have to give you a step-by-step video of cleaning off the door and spraying some primer on it. So I will be mixing up next video. I'll show you it all primered and me mixing the paint if I get to that tonight. Might put that off till tomorrow. Still don't know. We'll see how ambitious I get. Alright, thanks guys. There it is, guys. Not too happy about buying Omni. I thought that it was PPG, so it must be really good. Well, I don't know. Another guy told me, yeah, that's what homeowners usually buy, and I don't know if this is whatever. I mean, to me right now, paint is paint, so I mean, if you guys, I don't know if the Sailor, Sail 128 or whatever your call name is. I call you Sailor when I talk about you. I talk about you sometimes to my girlfriend. It's like, oh, Sailor said this or that, you know. But VW Darren, if you, I mean, you're the paint guy. If you got any suggestions for me, I was gonna send you a private message and ask you what would be the best for me as far as what I'm doing, flipping cars and trucks, basically doing spot panel work and rust repair, a lot like all the stuff Pisser does. What would be the best bang for my buck as far as the best quality stuff for the best price, as far as clear coats and paint brands and stuff go? I don't like some of the stuff that Napa, just a few little things about Napa and what, you know, and the guys that work there, for me anyways, locally here. The guys at O'Reilly are way cooler, and sorry Napa. I mean, I've used Napa ever since I was 16. I had a motor rebuilt by them when I was 16, actually, in my first truck that blew up, and I had Napa actually rebuild the whole thing. But so I've always been a Napa fan, but when it comes to this kind of stuff, O'Reilly's is going to give me a break on price, as far as you know, putting me on just a regular cash account and giving me pretty good discounts on a lot of these products that I'm buying. So I'm probably going to end up going with them. So Darren, if you got any suggestions, they sell DuPont paint up there. The closest O'Reilly's that makes paint for me around here. So didn't know if there was there's probably several different DuPont lines, just like there is PPG, and just wanted to know what the best cost-effective stuff would be without buying junk. That's just gonna be junk, you know. I know, like you said, this stuff's got a lot of clear in it, you know, and it's just I don't know if this is supposed to stay like that or what, but it's not going away. The swirls in there. This color is like, I mean, my truck sometimes in the right light it looks like silver, and in the other light it looks like, oh, I got a freaking moth just got in here. God dang it! I forgot to shut the door. I'm dealing with this shit. Oh yeah, it's flying around the light. I'm gonna have to get up there and spray it first. Spray them, and spray the floor, and shoot the floor with water. I got the hose sitting outside the door here. But yeah, this stuff doesn't mix very well, that's for sure, unless it's supposed to stay like that. It's not mixing. So anyways, like I said, if you got any suggestions for me, that'd be cool. I think I paid about $65 for this quart. And they told me if I wanted the better PPG stuff up there that I could add about 50 to 60 more bucks. I'm like, well, okay, what's the difference? I mean, is this stuff going to cover in 3 coats and the other stuff's going to cover in 2 coats? Then what's the point? I don't really care, you know? Especially when I'm doing spot panels and not a whole car, you know? And they didn't really have that great... I mean, they were talking on the phones and stuff, so... Seem to always be talking on the phones. So, yeah. That's it. Mixing her up. 1 to 1. I think I'm going to mix up... Since I got my stupid little cup here, that doesn't... that's not really for this, but... I think I'm going to go 4 ounces and 8 ounces. So 1 to 1, so I'm going to make an 8-ounce cup. I just did 12 ounces to do the jams with primer, and I had quite a bit left over. So I'm going to go down to 8 ounces should be enough to hit this with like three good coats. Because I think I put 4 coats of primer on here, and then I put 4 coats of primer on here and then had some left over. I hit this thing with 4 coats and I haven't really touched it since. So maybe I should think about going over it with some, at least some 400 or something. It's just the jams. I don't know what you guys do as far as the jams go, but I don't think I'm going to get too particular. I might get some of the, you know, I got a couple little hairs in there. And one right there, you know, there's a freaking, you know, bug. I mean, this stuff's all dry, so I'll just wipe it all off. I'm still gonna tack it off anyway, so yeah, you know, it's not the, I'm not shooting for the best right here, you know what I mean. Getting ready to spray paint though. So what I'm going to do actually is I just wanted to see how that looked in there. I'm going to cap that back off, spray off the bench, spray the floor again for like the 5th time. Because every time I seem to open the door, it's really windy today and it blows like, a couple leaves blew in under the, you know, even with the fan blowing out, some blew over here in the corner. So if you look at my previous videos, guys, I got a plan. I got a plan for the booth. So I got her all figured out. I even got most of the lumber that I need. I'm gonna take these Easy Greens. They're like $3 a pack. Okay. And I'm gonna build a door frame out of 2x. Okay. Building a door frame out of 2x4s. That's gonna slide in my existing door frame perfectly. So keep in mind, I do construction. I'm not a body man. I'm changing professions here, but I'm just gonna build a box, and then I'm gonna build. You know, I'm gonna put like maybe like some drywall corners, drywall beads, like corner beads, all the way around the inside, so that I can pop these filters in all the way up. Okay. They're all going to be stationary and taped in nice so that I can just take the door off and go store it somewhere over there on the other side and bring it over here when I want to paint, open the door, throw it up in there, and that'll be my inlet air, and so that'll be my exhaust air. But keep in mind, folks, I'm going to be blowing all this crap right outside my house, so we'll see how that goes over. I don't really know what the regulations are as far as, you know, if I was spraying cars here and it wasn't a business, it was just me doing it personally, what regulations, you know, what the regulations would be. So I don't know. I don't know if it's legal to do it if you're using the proper filters. I know there's, you know, I know you don't use furnace filters. I mean, they work, but I know there's a special type of filter you're supposed to use when you do that for painting. So alright, I'm going to go ahead and do like I said, cap this off, get this ready, Might hit this with some 400, especially in a couple spots, and tack it off, wet the floor first, mix the paint, put it in the cup, tack it off, and spray. Hit the tunes actually. Got the iPod cranked up. That works really good because I can't hear the radio when the compressor goes off, so I run the iPod up. So that's nice. So cool. So actually, I should have a video of this, of my freaking color here pretty soon. So yeah. Alright guys, it's time. I hit her with some 600 grit on a couple spots that were a little rough, and it smoothed it out like glass, so that's perfect. And I got her in the cup, man. Just poured it in the cup just now. I'm gonna grab a tack cloth. Hey, you guys should let me know also, any of you guys that know what you're doing out there. VW Darren, Pisser, any of you guys that, I don't think Pisser watches the channel much. That guy's busier than hell, but you know, Darren or any of you guys, how often do you use these, I mean, how long can you use these tack cloths for? Oh, you know what? I didn't hit this with any wax and grease remover yet. Yeah, that's another thing too. Do you need to use wax and grease remover on fresh sprayed primer? Because obviously there's no wax or grease on it. So yeah, that doesn't make any sense, does it? I'm just gonna go ahead and tack it off. So anyways, how many times do you use these things though? Just one use per side or whatever, and then pitch them, or I don't know. It'd be nice to get more than just, you know, one wipe down out of them. Or do you do a whole car with them, or do they stop working after a while, or what? So yeah. All right, I'm gonna get this tacked off, and I gotta get going. Paint's in the cup. I'm ready to spray. I'll get a little bit of footage here spraying the first coat on. Oh, my light went out. Really want that help over here anyway. Son of a... All right, I gotta set her down so I can hold the hose out of the way. But I don't know. There you go.